Hi everyone. Hope you all are good. We are here for grade 9 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password as provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 9 math and then click on view all lessons. There you can find the list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter that is direct and indirect variations. The lessons we're going to cover today are write direct variation equations, solve and write direct variation equations, solve and write and solve inverse variation equations, identify proportional relationships. So please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. Here I am on grade 9 math. Let's just start with the first lesson, that is write direct variation equations. Let's just start with the example. In a direct variation, y equals 9 when x equals 3. Write a direct variation equation that shows the proportional relationship between x and y. So the direct variation means if the one value is increasing, the second value is automatically increasing. The variable k is known as the constant of variation and it cannot be 0. That is y equals kx. So y is 9, x is 3, so that means k is 3. The equation is y equals 3x. In a direct variation equation, y equals 10 and x equals 2. Write a direct variation equation that shows the relationship between x and y. So you have x equals 2 and y equals 10. The equation for the direct variation is y equals kx. Use the value and find k. 10 equals k times 2. Divide both sides. K equals 5. So the equation is y equals 5x. Option number 1 is the correct option. Let's just start with the test question. Next one. Y in a direct variation, y equals 6 when x equals 2. We need to find k first. Y equals kx. Y is 16 and x is 2. Divide both sides by 2. That means k equals 8. So the equation is y equals kx, that is y equals 8x. Okay, let's just start with the in a direct variation, y equals 12 and x equals 4. So you need to find the k first, right? Y equals kx. Y is 12, x is 4. Divide both sides by 4. 4 times 3 is 12, so y equals 3. So the equation is y equals 3x. Option number 1 is the correct option. In a direct variation, y equals 8 and when x equals 2, write a direct variation equation that shows the relationship between x and y. That is y equals 4x. Option number 1 is the correct option. In a direct variation, y equals 9 when x equals 3. What is the direct variation equation that shows the relationship between x and y? That is y equals 3x. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. The next lesson is write and solve direct variation equations. Assume that varies directly with x. If y equals 6, if y equals 16, when x equals 2, find y when x equals 1. Let's just start with the test questions. If y equals 20 when x equals 1, find y when x equals 1. So you have to find a k from the first one, right? Y equals 20 when x equals 1. Y equals kx. Y is 20, x is 4, k equals 5. So when x equals 1, y equals 5. That is 5. Option number 2 is the correct option. Find a direct variation includes the point 3, 6, and 2n. Find n. So use the first point and find k. Y equals kx. Divide both sides by 3. K equals 2. So when k equals 2, you are given x. Y equals 2 times 2. That is 4. Option number 2 is the correct option. The value is 4. Assume that varies directly with x. If x equals 16 when x equals 2. If y equals 16 when x equals 2. Find y when x equals 1. So you need to find y. So the first thing you have to find is when you are given a pair, use that pair and find the value of k. Y equals kx. Y is 16, kx is 2. K equals 8. Option number 2 is the correct option. Y equals kx. Y is 14. X equals 2. Y is 5 times 2 is 10. The correct option is 10. Option number 2 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is write and solve inverse variation equations. Write and solve inverse variation equations. Let's just start with the lesson. Assume that y varies inversely with x. If y equals 3 when x equals 16, find y when x equals 4. So when two of the relationships are when x and y are inversely proportional, the equation is y equals 1 by k times x, right? You are given x and y, you need to find the k. Hold on. That is y equals k over x. They are inversely proportional, right? So you need to find the k. K equals y times x. 16 times 3 is 48. So the equation is y equals 48 divided by x. Now you need to find the y. So y equals 48 divided by 4, that is 12. Okay, let's just start with the test questions. Assume that y varies inversely with x. That is y equals k over x If y equals 4 when x equals 6, find y when x equals 2. You need to find k. K equals y times x. Y is 4, x is 6. So k equals 24. Option number k is 24. Now when x is 2, you need to find y. So the equation is y equals 24 over x. 24 over 2 equals 12. So the correct option is 12. The correct option is 12. Option number 2 is the correct option. Assume that y is inversely proportional with x. That is y equals k over x. You need to find the k, so k is y times x. 16 times 3, that is 48. So k is 48. Now use k and x and find the y. Y equals 48 divided by 4. That is again 12. The correct option is 12. Option 2 is the correct option. An inverse variation includes the point 2, 2 and 1 and find n. So y equals k by x, k equals y times x. X and y, they both are 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. K equals 4. Now use k and x and find the y. K, x is 1, so y equals 4. Option number 2 is the correct option. An inverse variation includes the point 2 and 4 and 1 and n. Find n, right, and solve an inverse equation to find the answer. The correct option is option number 1, that is 8. Assume that y varies inversely with x. If y equals 2 and x equals 9, find y when x equals 3. The correct option is option number 2, that is 6. X is 3, Y is 6. That is 9. Option number 2 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself. Let it way. Let me just move on to next lesson. Identify proportional relationships. Let's just start with the next lesson. Look at this graph. Is the total number of pieces Mario knows proportional to the number of weeks he takes? Basically, if you look at the graph, that is not directly proportional because the graph that is directly proportional is always a straight line and passing through the origin. That is a straight line, but that is not passing through the origin. Let's see the test questions. Look at this graph. No, that is not a graph that is directly proportional because graph is a straight line, but that is not passing through the origin. Look at this graph. Is the relationship directly proportional? Yes, it is a. The relationship is directly proportional. Look at this graph. Is the this a directly proportional relationship? Yes, it is. Option number 1 is the correct option. Yes, it is directly proportional relationship. Look at this graph. Is this a directly proportional relationship? No, that isn't. Option number two is the correct option. Yes, it is. Option number one is the correct option. Look at this graph. Is the total cost directly proportional to number of guests? No, that isn't. Option number two is is the total number of books read proportional to the number of months spent as a part of book club? The correct option is no, that is not a proportional relationship. No, this is not a directly proportional relationship. Look at this graph. Is the total number of pages in proportion to the number of hours spent writing? Yes, it is directly proportional, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we were working on grade 9 math. The chapter we were working on is direct and inverse variations. The lessons we have covered today are write direct variation equations, write and solve direct variation equations, write and solve inverse variation equations, identify proportional relationships. So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we just did. That is your homework until next session. So if you need more help with any of the lesson, you can simply click on the live chat. Tutors are available there to help you, or either you can write down the questions in the chat box. All your questions and confusions if you have any. No questions?